Hey, listen, today we're going from beginners to intermediate on pulling a shot using the Breville Bambino Plus here on Bean Basics. Oh, hey there. Welcome to Bean Basics with Bob and Michelle. Welcome to sunny Saugatuck, and welcome to the Obis Lab. Hey, listen. Today, we're still talking about the Breville Bambino Plus. Now, we've shown you how to do a shot straight out of the box, basically the beginner's version. But today, we're going to take it up a notch to intermediate. And in order to do that, I'm going to invite our friend and our super intern, Carter, back on to the set.
Hi, hello again.
Welcome,
hello.
Carter.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So, no, thanks for doing this.
Yeah.
So, listen, you've used this machine how many times now?
This is fourth time, right?
Fourth time,
Yeah.
right? So, 4 times you've pulled some shots using it straight out of the box.
Yep.
You've steamed some milk straight out of the box.
Yeah.
Today we're going to take it up a notch.
Let's do it.
Okay.
I'm excited.
So, one thing about the Bambino is that it's really nice because you can use it straight out of the box, but if you wanted to up your game a little bit on producing espresso, we would get rid of the pressurized portafilter.
Okay.
Well, it's not a portafilter, it's a brew basket. And I'm going to have you take that brew basket right out if you don't mind.
All right.
Yep.
There's a little
It's tricky.
notch here, though, that should be able to...
You got it.
There we are.
And I'm going to borrow that for a second because we're going to show the difference between, so this is the pressurized brew basket. Here, this is the non-pressurized. And this is what they look on the other side. So on this side, they look almost identical, but on that side, they don't. And this sort of pressurized brew basket allows you to maybe not get your grind quite right. It allows you to use not very good espresso, maybe old espresso, and it will still extract with lots of crema and appear that it's the coffee that is acting as the dam, but in fact it's not. It is this brew basket that is doing all the work.
Right.
Okay. So we're going to step it up a notch, and we're going to use a traditional brew basket. And you can buy one of these for about $21. You do want to make sure that it fits the Breville. You can find it on Amazon. And I'm just going to snap that in there for you. And, the thing about producing espresso in this fashion here is now we do have to worry about our grind.
Right.
And that because we need the right amount of grind that's going to provide the resistance to the water trying to push through. Any quality espresso machine will be pushing under pressure at 9 bars of pressure. And so it is the grind that will actually act as the dam that is providing the tension of water trying to push through. Okay?
Yeah, okay.
Now, the other thing about this is that we have to make sure, especially now, that we get a really good even tamp.
Yeah,
Okay?
right.
And we practiced that on the straight out of the box and then the accessories episode. And we'll
Yes,
put
indeed.
both of those episodes up here in the corner. But this time we have to be particularly careful. So I'm going to pull the Bambino forward here just a little bit and have you insert the portafilter because we always need to, that's right, you
There
got
we
it.
are.
We always need to preheat the head and preheat the portafilter. I'm just going to do that by hitting the single button and basically turn it on. And when I hear the water run, there it goes. I'm going to let it run for just about that amount of time and turn it off. And now I'm going to have you take the portafilter back out again.
All right.
And dump that water right into the tray. There you go.
Excellent.
And grab a towel. And remember, it's never a rag. It's always a towel.
Always
and
a towel.
we'll just wipe that out a little bit.
Sounds good.
Right on. Okay. So at this point, we've got to dose the coffee. So I'm going to push this back here for a moment. Pull our grinder forward and just, I'm going to talk about 2 more things,
Yeah.
right? So, this costs $500. We've talked about some accessories that cost about $75, but there are 2 things you need if you're going to grind coffee. One is
Right.
a scale, and we use a Time More scale, and this is about $50. And our trusted Baratza Encore grinder, we use this for brewing coffee, we use it for espresso, and the setting on our Baratza today is going to be about an 8. And I thought I would have to take it down some more, but the Baratza comb grinders the Encore version, they've actually done a great job. Okay. Now, one of the reasons why we have to dose our coffee is we want to have some degree of consistency from espresso shot to espresso shot to espresso shot. And if we just kind of filled it up with coffee and we're not paying attention to the amount of grams that we were putting in, we would have inconsistency. Right. Okay.
Chaos.
Chaos, absolute chaos. All right, I'm going to have you begin dosing 18 grams of coffee.
Let's do it.
Yeah, right.
Is there a standard ratio like there is for a regular drip coffee of milliliters to grams, water to coffee?
Yeah. We're going to talk about that in the end. I hope you ask me that question again. Now, we're always pulling double shots. That's our preferred over a single shot. And what that means is 60 milliliters of water will be going through, right? So we have 60 milliliters of water going through. I think that's close enough. 18.1.
Close enough. 18.1.
Right?
There we are.
All right, so you put your dosing ring on. And the thing that's different here, and we talked about this in advance, is we're not using a tray to measure our coffee. You just dose straight into this right here.
Yep.
Right? That's super awesome because we don't need another piece of equipment or anything like that. And so we need to grind that up. And pretty straightforward. Thanks for remembering. Giving it a spritz. Beautiful. Okay. And the spritz reduces static cling inside the grinder, right?
Right.
Here we go. On. And I'm going to turn it off.
Kill it. There we are.
Because why?
We already ground it.
We already ground it, right? So
thinking in advance.
That's right. So you didn't have to listen to all the grinding that goes on. There's got a little bit of water on there. I'm going to get that off. And yeah, get your portafilter and your ring right back on there again.
Sounds good.
And we're just going to verify that we do have 18 grams, right? Ground coffee in there. But remember, when you take your grinds out, always give it a good whiff first, right? Does it smell good?
It smells good.
It should be good. It's coffee you roasted 2 days ago.
Yeah.
All right.
Good coffee.
All right, in it goes.
All right.
I know you're kind of worried. You're worried about the spill.
I'm a little bit nervous.
We spilled before, right?
Yep.
But you can
slow and steady.
Slow and steady. There you go.
Tortoise in the hair.
Of course, you're at 1 gram of coffee right now.
Yeah,
so we got
maybe
18
a little
to
bit
go,
faster.
So. You know what they say? Don't panic, right?
No.
All right, you got 9 grams.
We're halfway.
Halfway.
15.
17.8.
Almost there.
Yeah.
18.8.
18.8. What happened?
I mean, nothing went out of it, but a little clump, I think, at the end.
Yeah, that's right.
That guy right there.
Well, you can grab that spoon right there.
Yeah.
And just kind of take a little bit off. And before you dump it in the bowl, just see what happens with the number. Yeah, there you go.
Work.
I think you're close enough. It's 17.9. I think that's close
so.
enough. Okay, great. So I'm going to have you take this off at this point, and we need to make sure there's no clumps. You mentioned there was a big clump right at the end, and that's what this doodad does for us, right? So we're going to give it a stir right to the bottom, and just stir it around and that kind of thing. There you go.
Excellent.
That's the doodad we talked about in the accessories episode.
That's right.
Yes,
that's right. That should be up there already. We hope. I think that's good enough.
Is that good?
Okay. And I'll take that back for you.
All right.
Now, you got to give it a knock. I'm going to do your first knock, and we're going to hold onto the whole thing and go boom, because we're just trying to shake those grounds down, and boom. Okay. So lift off that ring for me and pass it to me. Perfect.
There you
and
are.
you can see the grounds are a little high on one side. I don't know if you can see that right
yeah.
there. And it's okay. You can cheat. You can kind of just take your finger and level it out a little bit. That's fine.
All right.
And now we're going to have you tamp it, right? Now, what I want you to do, see how your arm's like this?
Yeah.
I want you to turn your arm to a 90 degree. Just lay that right on top. Put the palm right on and push down with your body weight. Okay, you got to hold the handle.
Yep.
All right. So take a look. Does it look pretty even on there?
I think I see a little popping out on my side.
A little popping out. Are we talking like this side here?
Yeah. So I'm going to even that up for you.
Excellent.
Like that. And then it's going to be a turn, and then I just want you to sort of spin it and polish it. There you go.
Excellent.
Good enough.
Good enough.
Okay.
All right,
There
let's
we
see
are.
that bad boy.
Right.
Bring it in.
Now we've got some cleanup. You can see there's some grounds here. So when Carter brings that back, he's going to brush off those flanges right there.
Flanges. That's a good word.
Okay, now before we insert, I just want to talk about something because we put 18 grams in here, and when we were using the pressurized brew basket, we only put 16 grams. And one of the things about the pressurized, it's dual walled, right? So there's a wall here and there's a wall right there. And so there's just not as much space to put coffee in. Now we have the full space, right? So we can get a full 18 grams in, and that's really kind of important.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to have you slide the grinder back.
Okay.
Kind of pull the Bambino forward.
Right.
Kind of face it towards you. There you go, because it'll be easier to get it in. I'm going to have you get it in.
Let's do it.
All right.
There we are.
There you go. Give it a turn.
It a lock.
Now, it's kind of tricky because we're on set and stuff like that, but babe, I'm going to have you come in. You can see where this is lined up, there's an insert and a lock, right?
You can see those.
That's right. You can see those. But Carter's got to kind of do it backwards, and that makes it a little bit tricky, to say the least. Yeah.
A little bit.
Now, one thing I wanted to do, because we're going to pour into this glass right here, is I do want to measure or tear out this glass.
Sounds good.
Because we're going to measure the amount of coffee that's coming out, too. Okay?
All right.
Now, the thing that makes espresso is not the coffee necessarily. It's it's a method of extraction. And the thing that we need to know is whenever we're making coffee, water is actually the medium of extraction of those coffee solubles.
Right.
Then we add heat. That gets more solubles to come out. And when you use the espresso method, now you're adding pressure, and that makes even more solubles come out in a quicker amount of time. Like when we do drip coffee, it takes 3.5, 4 minutes, right?
Right.
When we do an espresso, it takes somewhere around, well, it could be 19, 21, 23 seconds, somewhere in that particular range.
Yeah.
Okay? So I'm going to have you insert the glass.
All right.
And when we shoot this shot, we should see a ton of crema. Go ahead and lean over and hit the double.
Yeah, do you want to hit the timer real quick?
Oh, yeah, I do want to hit the timer. You hit the
that
double,
ready?
and I'll hit the timer.
All right.
Mark, get set, go.
Let's do it.
Okay. I'm going to wait 1 second. There we go.
There we are.
Now, that should come out in about 7, 8 seconds. And there it starts
there we
coming.
are.
We're just about right on time.
Ooh.
Now, when it's right, it should be very crema rich, and you can see the amount of crema, and it should be coming out of the espresso, out of the portafilter holes. Oops.
That's
Boom.
26.
Yep.
It almost looks like honey.
It does. It looks like
looks
warm
like
honey
honey
coming out. So go ahead now and take that glass and put it.
Back on the scale?
Yep.
Nice.
I mean, that is significantly more crema than the machine does on its sort of cheaters.
Oh, the cheaters
Yeah,
method, right?
indeed.
Nothing, right? So, and it's so important to get this tamped properly, right? That's why we use this particular tool.
Yep.
The reason I have you leaning forward at a right angle is if you lean forward with your body weight on this at a right angle while you're tamping, that's about 30 pounds of pressure, and that's how compact we need that. Right?
Right.
Okay, so we used 19 grams, or we used 18 grams of coffee, right? We managed to extract about 43 grams of coffee and water, right? That's also 43 milliliters-ish. Now, the interesting thing is it took 60 to get 43, right? So we lost some water in there. Where is that? That's in the puck. That's in that coffee puck. But we talk about different kinds of shot. There's a Ristretto espresso, there's a normal espresso, and there's a lungo espresso. And if you're a normal espresso, you're about 1 to 2 to 2.5, right? So ratio, meaning 1 part coffee, in the end you would have 2 parts liquid right here, right? So if we were spot on, we would have been at about 38 grams. We're about 5 grams over. We're still within a normal shot at this moment in time, all right? Now, the last thing I want to do for you is I'm going to take this portafilter out, and for a moment, we're going to just take a look at this puck, okay?
Ooh,
and you see how it just dropped right out?
Yeah.
It looks like a flourless chocolate brownie.
It does. It looks like a brownie. And, we're just going to check it. And what we're checking for is, did the water find any shortcuts? And the answer is no. There were no shortcuts. This was a perfectly tamped espresso shot. So if we don't tamp properly, remember the water is under pressure as it's going through, right? And water wants to find the shortest, easiest path. And so if you didn't tamp properly, it would have channeled through, we wouldn't have had a good extraction. This, in fact, was a great extraction.
I think the most important part here now is the taste test.
All right.
You?
Yes, and I'm going to be the taste tester.
Do it.
So,
Yeah.
oh, that is a beautiful espresso. This particular coffee was very fruity. That fruitiness is popping through. It has the right kind of strength, and it has the right kind of syrupiness. Well done.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, well, I think that's enough for stepping up your game to the intermediate level by not using a pressurized portafilter, but using a regular portafilter. Congratulations to you.
Thank you.
And we're going to say goodbye now. And the way we do that is we say, when you love the world
will love you right back.
Right on. Hey, thanks for joining us. For future episodes, click the subscribe button. Bean Basics is brought to you by One Big Island in Space.com with 2 G's.